I already have SchoolServer installed. So, how do I enter SchoolServer model school score in order to compute their results? One of the ways of achieving this on SchoolServer is via Excel imports. Importing records from Excel sheets has always had advantages over manually imputing these records. Some of the advantages include that the software, for example, can automatically identify the subjects offered by each class contained in the sheets and can enter the appropriate settings for that class arm. Secondly, the software can automatically set the list of score headers and evaluation for each class table, and besides which you will have to do it manually. Thirdly, instead of entering each student's name or biodata record singly, you can also import it bulk via Excel. So, how do you import? Firstly, click on the settings icon on the top left. Select the term and the session you are importing from the drop down. Apply default settings. Select the file. Import. While we are waiting for the import to finish, let's talk a little more about the Excel sheets we are just imported. Are there rules to import Excel files in SchoolServer? Yes, there are. Rule number 1, that class to be imported must follow the SchoolServer class naming convention. That is, the class group, class order, and class arm. Rule 2 is you have to be consistent in your subject name spellings and avoid unnecessary abbreviations. As you can see on this Excel sheet, I have used basic SC for GSS 3A. For GSS 3B, I have used basic science info. What this means is that there will be 2 different subjects imported for one subject name. Rule 3 is the total score for each score header must be written right below it. Take for example, you have classwork and the total score for this score header is right below it. So let's head back to where we dropped off on SchoolServer. As you can see, our import is completed and the list of imported score headers is displayed. Click on Save before closing this view. A summary graph now displays the classes imported on the Home tab. If you hover on any of those bars representing a class, the total number of students in that class will be displayed. Let's head to scores and gradings to see if our score heads and evaluation table for GSS 3 was picked correctly. Let's also confirm we have our subject names imported correctly. Subject names have been imported automatically for GSS 3. However, subject names for other classes still remain empty. Notice there are 2 subject names for basic science because of the spelling inconsistency on the Excel file we imported. So, lastly, let's head on to records to view our results. To view a result, you simply select the class you would like to view, in our case GS3B, then click on Proceed. But if you recall, we imported score headers for midterm. That's assignment, classwork, and first test. This means we would also select Generate Midterm Report before proceeding. As you can see, our scores are missing. So, one way to view records or score records, edit them, or add new score records on SchoolServer is is through the Score Record tab displayed on the screen. And to achieve this, you simply select the class you would like to view, in our case GS3B, and the subject. Let's choose Business Studies this time. Click on Proceed. As you can see, there are no score records for GSS3B. You can see that the term we selected is third term, and that might be the reason for our error, because we actually imported first term scores. So let us change term to first term and click on Proceed. So our scores were actually imported correctly. In this case, I will click on Proceed to view our results. Right. So to skim through results, you can just click on Next to see all the results in this present class. To print a result, you click on Print. You can actually adjust the result to fit the size you want. So, a summary of what we have learned so far on SchoolServer. Firstly, we learned how to import an Excel sheet on SchoolServer. To import an Excel record, you simply click on Settings, click on Import Session Records, select the term you want to import for, the session, apply default settings, locate the file, then you import and you save. We also learned how to view imported scores, edit them through the Scores and Records. Scores and Records also allows you to add new scores. And lastly, we learned about the three major rules. One, the spelling rule. The spellings must be consistent. We also learned that you should always enter the maximum scores uniquely under the score header. And we also learned that the class naming convention should also be followed on the Excel format.